I mean, it doesn't take a genius to realize ever since this atrocity of a movie got made, the number of booty-eating warriors has increased substantially.
In his prison, booty was more important than food. Booty, a man's butt.
Like, take a look at this very accurate graph.
Coincidence? I think not!
And if you've never heard of this actual cinematic war crime of a film, then count yourself lucky.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The Human Centipede. I know this is what kickstarted Quan Mill's descent into the freaky nasty shit he's into now.
Pregnant by the flying chitlin monster.
Back when I was 13, don't ask me why, but I sat through and binged the Human Centipede trilogy. Yeah, you heard me right. Trilogy. And I'm guessing my brain buried this abomination of cinema in my head and locked it away. That was until I was watching Weapons and I started thinking to myself, damn, this movie stinks. And whilst my mind was wandering about what horror films I've seen that's worse than this one, I accidentally re-unlocked the disgusting memory of watching the Human Centipede. I sifted through too much shit in my head and it all came trickling down faster and stinkier than you popping a laxative right before eating a Taco Bell. You might be thinking, why is this guy making so many poo-poo references? And that's because it's quite literally the entire premise of the Human Centipede. The Human Centipede 1 kickstarts this abomination of a trilogy. Dr. Heiter, your classic mad scientist, kidnaps 3 unfortunate souls to make his twisted fantasy. Obviously, I can't show you the full thing, but you should be thanking me for that. I already know Felice Johnson was dying to be the stunt double, salivating to be in the middle. Can you guys imagine the smell?
What did I just see? What did I just see?
This is the type of punishment African thieves get if they get caught by the community. Nothing really happens in this first one, to be honest. Obviously, the people in the Human Centipede experience every single type of pain, almost as much pain as I got from watching it. In the end, the face and ass of the centipede die, and this poor soul is trapped in the middle and is just stuck. For $1 million, would you agree to be put in this position for 2 minutes? I know at least 50% of you watching would snatch that offer indubitably. Don't lie now. The reason this freak created a centipede was to save space, resources, and act as a deterrent. Essentially, you'd feed the mouth and he'd poop out in the next guy's mouth, who'd be forced to eat it, and then he'd defecate in the next person's mouth, and so on and so on. I think the film had a $1.5 million budget, which is crazy in itself, and unsurprisingly, it did not do well in theaters, making about $250,000. So you'd think studio execs would use their brains and call it quits then. But no. They decided to spin back 2 years later and crank the nastiness up by 500%. My memory of the first and third movie is pretty good. I can remember most of them, but it's like my brain completely shut out the second one. So naturally, I went to watch it, and my God, do not. I repeat, do not watch this. Matter of fact, let's name and shame the director, Tom Six. He directed all 3 of them. Someone's gotta take a look at this guy's hard drive. One doesn't simply make something like this and return back to life like nothing happened. Oh my days. Imagine a 4D experience watching this trash. I have never experienced a 4D film, but when I tell you, rewatching this, I could actually smell the movie. It was like someone sprayed liquid ass in my nostrils and just left it there. Okay, so in the Human Centipede 2, they took a stylistic approach and did the whole thing in black and white. The reason why is because I believe they used genuine human poo-poo whilst filming. And to cover this up, he slapped a black and white filter over the screen to avoid the backlash. He thinks he fooled us, but he can't fool me. The movie follows this evil man. And I gotta be real for a minute. This could be the single most greatest villain performance ever. The level of filth he was able to portray was, in a way, beautiful. I'm lying. Lock this guy up and lock him up now. I don't know how I wasn't mentally scarred from watching this the first time. The words I want to use to describe it would get this video taken down. Anyways, Martin is a mentally disturbed, black-pilled Redditor who's a fan of the first Human Centipede movie. Yeah, 2 movies in and we're already getting meta. It could be argued that this is the first case of interconnected movies. So in this one, the first film is a fake and nothing was real, so that's a relief. This freakazoid Martin watched it and thought, absolute cinema. It would be an insult if the only thing he did was change his profile picture on socials to a character from the movies. No. He got an urge that must be satiated. His first victims of his couple, this is set in the UK, so I don't know where he got the blicky from. Or he does him like Tory did Meghan and disposes of them both. He goes back to watching Two Girls One Cup, and this man is licking his fingers. We cut to him taking a group of people into a slaughterhouse, and he's using these rusty scissors to prep them for the freak off. Next scene, his mama comes in to wake him up, and turns out Poo Poo Boy constantly shoots himself when he sleeps. So this explains quite a lot actually. They try making you feel sorry for him, showing his abusive family, but we do not care. You know, someone's gotta meet this actor and give him an interview about his performance. Martin goes deeper into the Human Centipede research and pulls up on his family. Oh my god, not the kid. There's no way. Okay, even this monster has a heart. Guys, nuh-uh. Oh my god, this bastard, no joke, pulls out his schmeat and is touching himself to the film, and they actually show everything. Yeah, everything. Who the frick greenlit this abomination? They really made this and rewatched it. I'm like, nah, yeah, this is tough. They're gonna love this. He gets his victims all laid out and gives them a big old sniff, because why not? That's when it starts to look crazy. At this point, they crank the gross dial all the way up. He airs out his mum and brother and goes on a little spree, catching more victims. He does this one dirty by pretending he's a casting director for Quentin Tarantino. I mean, a feet lover like him would probably have this as his top 5 on Letterboxd. Turns out, she's one of the actors from the OG film as well. He grabs out his tool belt. We see pliers, hammers, scissors. You can only imagine what he's gonna do. Using a hammer, he breaks this guy's teeth in, and the sounds are absolutely disgusting, man. No amount of money could you pay me to be an extra for this film. Martin starts to saw and cut into everyone's body. Again, I don't know how this got released, bro. Cause he's a dumbass, most of his victims die before he can enact his fantasy. That's till he finds the staple gun. Looking at it the same way I looked at Mini Pecker when I just started playing Clash Royale. The Freakazoid starts stapling them together, and bro, there's zero chance this was faked or CGI'd, especially back in 2011. I'm seeing mouth, actual lips to cheeks, bro. This gotta be the nastiest thing I've ever seen. He starts taking a piss now, brushing their hair and force-feeding the mouth with sardines. Anything but sardines. The girl in the front starts screaming, so naturally he rips out her tongue with pliers.
But now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
And just when you think it could not get worse, he pulls out a bottle of laxatives and begins injecting it straight into their booty cheeks. I'll be honest guys, at this point, I had enough and started skipping through before it became a try not to vomit challenge. And I wish I didn't skip, because the first thing I see is this 4chan user going to town in the back. If you know what I mean. Then one of the victims somehow breaks free and makes a run for it. Guts leaking, poo-poo trickling down. But wait, it gets worse.
Is this nigga serious?
She gives birth in the car, and this guy, Ice Spice would probably call him a munch, because that's exactly what he does. Takes a munch out of her booty cheek to escape. But don't worry guys, we get a good ending, because the first girl shoves a cylinder up his ass and puts a centipede through it, and we watch as everyone slowly dies. They try to do a whole, oh, he imagined the whole thing, but nah, I did not go through all this pain to get a then he woke up ending. Tom 6, count your days, you prick. The Human Centipede 3. To end this atrocity of a trilogy, they decided to change genres again and make it more of a parody of itself. After watching number 2, I suppose you just become numb to it. This time it's set in a prison that's extra violent and chaotic. The warden is all about efficiency, so they decide to create a 500-man centipede train. Still pales in comparison to the average Bonnie Blue train. They make it as a deterrent for anyone who's thinking of committing crimes, which probably would have worked back then, but in 2025, I wouldn't be surprised if crime surged up. Again, they double down and start the film with the main character watching the Human Centipede 2. But I'm sick of this now. They recasted this sick man and somehow managed to convince an actual actor to be in this film. I forgot his name, but he was in The Dark Knight. How do you go from a movie of all time to a movie of all time? For an hour and a half, nothing really happens. They finally build the 500-man centipede and New Martin gets shot, so that's good. I don't think in cinematic history there ever has or will be a nastier movie or trilogy than The Human Centipede. Because of all the pain I put myself through, you better subscribe. And whilst you do that, I'm gonna take a shower because I feel gross. Thank you for watching.